Hello, I'm Deb Kais with Stampin' on the Hill. Thank you for joining me today while we make a new scrapbook spread. I know it's December already, but I'm still catching up from my camping photos. So I've got a new sketch, so I want to share that with you. So let's do this. So you can kind of see, I will have the cutting guide in the blog if you choose to go grab that, but you can kind of get the idea of um, this number A or letter A right here is like only a half an inch smaller than the 12 by 12. So we're going to use 12 by 12 bases, but you can either layer on the 11 and a half by 11 and a half, or I'm going to teach you a trick. So you can do it either way, depends on how thick you want yours. And I'm going with the paper saving method. So we will get through that. And then you can see these strips right here. And I just use DSP for mine. The colors indicate that it's kind of the same DSP. You could also, if you wanted to, use um, like a rainbow of colors, or not really a rainbow. What's the word I'm looking for? Like an ombre effect, if you will, where you have the darker of a green at the bottom and then a mid-color green and then a lighter green at the top. So you kind of get the idea of that. So let's shift down to the hands here. And these are the pieces that I have ready to go for. This is the right side of my spread for now because I wanted to show you how I cut this out. So I'm going to bring in my cutter, and I'm going to use the make sure you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to use the guide here on my cutter. I'm going to move this to a half an inch. Okay. And then I'm going to slide my arrow down, so you can see here, to a half an inch. It's not really an arrow, it's a line, but there's my half an inch about there. And it's not that you can really see it, but trust that I'm doing, and I'm going to go to 11 and a half. Trust that I'm doing what I'm saying I'm doing. And I'm going to cut this to the 11 and a half inch mark down at the bottom. And then I'm going to lift. I know you can't see all of that in the same frame, and I apologize, but I can't really get my camera to go up much higher and have you still be able to see. All right, so now I'm starting, you can't really see here. Now I'm starting at the 11 and a half. I again placed my cardstock at the half inch mark, and I'm going to just kind of do the reverse, but I'm going to go up to that half inch mark here. And I can see that this line is flush with that line there, so that's good. And then we're going to do the same thing here. Oops. Make sure it stays flat there. And then down to the 11 and a half inch mark again. And one more side here at the half inch there. 11 and a half is my starting point, back up to the half inch line. All right, so I'm going to bring in my snips because this didn't go quite to the top here. And I don't want it to rip. So there we go. All right. So now what I'm doing, because what I did with the first one is I used the dark side, which is the dark side. That's the dark side. This is the light side. So that's what I used in order to have two different papers. All right. So what I did was I just flipped this over. All right. So now that I have it fit back together, the center flipped. So I have the dark side facing me because I'm on the back, okay? I'm going to use just some Scotch tape, and I'm going to, this one's not long enough. I'll use it in the next one. Let's see. Let's go with, I'm just going to tape this together on the top and the bottom. This one got a little long, so we'll cut it off a bit. There we go. I'm not sure if you can even see here what I'm doing. And then I'm going to use this piece that I didn't quite cut long enough. And I'm going to put it in the middle of the sides here. This is just going to hold it back together so that we don't have to use like almost two full layers, right? All right, so there we go. Scotch tape out of the way, and now we have our right side. Okay, so all the layers are going to go on here. So I'm going to start with adhering this all the way on here. So I already cut these. Clearly, you can tell that I already cut out all the pieces just to save time. And now we're just going to line them up. This was going all the way to the edge and down. All right. There we go. All right. Apparently this is not going to be my day. Then what I'm going to do is this is for a photo, so I'm going to set that aside. I chose to use my blue. Now that I've lost one, probably under here, right? Oh, it's lost. All right. We're going to put this, and I'm butting this right up. And I might as well just use these lines, right? So I'm going to leave, let's see, there's a half line there. So let's just do it this way. And then I want to dry fit this at the top. So I've got 1, 2, 3 lines. 1, 2, 3 lines. So there and there. And then I'm going to put, I think I'm just going to, well, no, let's do 2 lines in between there. And then I do have another piece of this. We're going to have to find it. Let's see. Got 2 lines there, 2 lines here, and then we'll sort of center these up. Here it is. And I wanted 2 lines in between. Okay, that looks about right. So now that I have them this way, let's just glue them down before it gets out of hand. So I will start at the top and 1, 2, 3, and I've got a few tricks to show you today too, so stick with me because I think they're fun tricks. Okay, so that's there. We are going to add some photos, but what I did was, instead of the sketch calls for like 4 by 6 or maybe 3.5 by 5 or whatever, but I ended up using smaller ones. So I'm going to just put mine together like this, my photos. And then I did some journaling that I want to tuck in behind here. So I want to make sure that I'm only gluing the top and the bottom. And then this one I can glue the side down too. And then I've got couple more. Not sure. I'm gonna dry fit these on here because I'm not sure how much space they're really gonna take up. And I can trim them too, but I did not. I'm gonna have to trim them. I went ahead and trimmed these all to 3.5. So probably like 3.5 by maybe 5. This is 6 and what is it? 6.25 wide by 12. So realistically, a 6 should fit on here, but if you do 4 inches 3 times, they're all going to be right together. So you're going to have to make them a little bit narrow. So I'm going to, let's see, I've got them sort of dry fit on here. Let's go with 2 lines at the bottom, 2 lines, and 2 lines. All right, I'm going to start with this one, and I'm not going to glue this edge here. So I'm just going to glue down 3 sides so that I can make sure that my journaling fits. And now I'm just looking to see where I want this way. Okay, and I'm going to put these right together because I don't want to see this card under there. You could put them apart if, well, I could have pulled them apart. This one I'm only doing the top and the bottom. But then I didn't want to see that card. So therefore, all right, I'm going to let that dry before I put my card back in there. So we will go ahead and glue the rest of these down. I wanted 2 lines in the middle, and I'm eyeing this. I could use a guide, but I'm just not that big of a perfectionist in most things, so it's all good. This was a trip that was so cold. Daisy just froze, so of course you see she's got her little coat on, and she was up on her. We have a cot for her so that she doesn't have to be on the cold ground. I know, she's so spoiled, isn't she? All right. And this was cool because this was just in the driveway, if you will. But the leaves had blown away and left just that mark. And I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. All right. And then there was a cool moon. So I took a picture of that. Actually, I think Tom probably got a better picture of it than I did. I want to make sure my lines are going the same direction on here. So this is going to go here. And then we're going to just glue this down. I don't want to cover up Daisy too much, but this is about like this. All right. And we'll see if we can slide this in there. You might have to trim it. Bring in the trimmer. I used a note card again. I've been doing that a lot lately because it fits so well and it has lines. I did order a stamp set that has lines. It hasn't gotten here yet, but it's on its way. And I wrote pull. I used a piece of the same DSP and I just glued it on, and I just wrote pull on here so that, who knows, maybe my kids will look at these things someday. There we go. And then I'm just going to tuck it in. All right. So that's the right-hand side of the spread. And then we're going to move this out of the way, bring in the left. And the left is very similar. I'll show you what I did with these in a few minutes, but let's go with, well, I'm not sure it really matters. I'm just gonna eyeball this. I don't really have a guide. Let's go with this one. We'll bring this one back in. so we can kind of eyeball where we're going to be putting the same strips on the other side so that we can, so they're not too out of sync. All right, let's see. We're going to go with, and I'm eyeballing them right to, side to side as well. Bring this down just a little bit, maybe. That was blobby. See that blob right there? I'm going to put this down first and then slide it this way so that it ends up not squishing out the left side. I guess that's another little tip for you. All right. So there's that. Then I brought in, let's see what we're doing here. I'm going to put this one here because I brought in another one of my, well, I will be bringing in another one of my flip flaps for this. All right, grab it a second. Alrighty, so now this one I want to be in the front. This is going to go backwards. So this one, oops, this one's going to go this way, upside down in the flip flap. And then this will be in the front. These are 4x6 flip flaps. And then this is going to go, oh, I did it wrong. Oh, I guess it could go this way, couldn't it? And you flip it open this way. Yeah, let's do that. That's fun. Okay. I also have another, I have another journaling thing that I want to go under here. So we're going to glue 3 sides of this down. Maybe I'll only glue 2 sides because what the heck, right? And then this is going to go over here. Like I said, we're covering up this. Yeah, that's good. All right. My journaling is going to go in there, and then my flip flap's going to go directly over here. So we're going to pull this off, and I'm going to put the photo directly over this photo so that this can go like this. And there's my scenery and my photos, and then this can go in here. Go a little bit farther, I suppose. I don't want it to come out the other end, but all right. So here's what I did. I made my title, which was just October 26th, and yep, October 26th. Stick with it. And let's see how I'm going to put these here and here, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what I did was I took and I cut out my pieces of the letters and the numbers. And then I ended up, this is a Forever Plaid embossing folder. So what I did was I opened it up and I laid all the pieces on one side. And I used the side that does not have the logo on it. So I laid them on this side. And then I took my Early Espresso ink and I inked up this side. All right. And then I folded it up and ran it through my cut and emboss machine. And this is what it looks like. Isn't that kind of cool? Little texture on there. You can kind of see the lines. But we're just going to, I guess I kind of want it to go like this. So I don't know what I'm doing. Can you tell? I'm winging it here. But because this is textured, I'm using a little bit more glue. I'm going to go up to the top, I think. Because I don't want it to hit this. I probably should have moved that down. So if you do this, You might want to make sure that your title is going to fit where you want it before you glue down all your photos. October. Be nice if it were straight. And then I'm going to show you in a minute here, I'm going to show you how I cut my page protector. This is a cool tip. Let me get these down here first. October 2. I should have used dimensionals like I did on the last spread, but that's okay. This was a trip that ended up getting cut short because it was so cold, and it was supposed to rain then too, and the dog was already miserable. So, you know, did I mention she's spoiled? And we had leaves to finish doing at home. So, okay, so let's see here. I have the last one that I did. And then what I'm going to do is flip it upside down, and I'm going to put this into, yeah, this is the right one, the left one. Put it into my sheet protector, and then I'm going to bring in my piercing tool, the piercing point of my, oh shoot, no, I already forgot the name of it. This is like the everything tool, which is really good. All right, so this is gonna open this way, right? So I need my slit to be down here. So I'm gonna put a poke here, just a poke there, and then another poke right at the bottom. There we go. And then I'm going to slide in a piece of cardboard. And I'm gonna, if you can see my poke here and my poke there, I'm gonna grab my straight edge. Doesn't matter what straight edge you use. And then I'm going to use my scissors, and I'm just going to slice this from point to point. You can barely see it. I can barely see it. All right. There's the point there. And the point there. All right. Now when we take this out, I will be able to put this through the slot that I just made. And there you go. So this one goes this way, and then this one is this way. Oh, I know what else I needed to do. I need to make another slot so that I can get my my journaling card out of there. So I'm gonna go here and here, and we'll try we'll try this one more time. Yes, I just poked myself with the scissors. All right. I should probably have poked it just a little bit more because I can't see it. Let's try this again. There it is. There's 1 and 2. There we go. That's a little bit better. And then with my scissors again, I can use an X-Acto knife too, but I had this handy. Here we go. Now I can pop out my journaling card. Here we go. So we can pull from here, and then this goes this way. All right. And this one's not in a sleeve yet, but you get the idea, right? I have flip-flaps on the back from the last time. So, all right. That was a tough day, wasn't it? Um, hopefully you will measure a little bit better than I did the first time, and or, you know, nothing has to be perfect. It's yours. And a lot of times people, I don't know, do people really look at your scrapbooks, or is it just kind of your family? I feel like it's just kind of my family. So anyway, um, again, I'll make sure that I put the sketch on my blog, and I'll put a link to the blog in the description. You'll want to make sure that you get my newsletter, because all of the details of the things that Stampin' Up, promos that Stampin' Up is having, and my class information and everything's all in that email. So you'll want to make sure that you are registered or subscribed to get the email. There's also a link for that in the description. And next week, we're going to do another fun fold. So until then, thanks for watching.